Welcome to GabTalks, where we provide tools, tips, and techniques to help your life and business be easier, better, and faster. Hello, everybody. How are you today? I am Gabriella, and this is our next episode of GabTalks Success Tips with Experts. Today, I am super excited and delighted and honored to bring to you our guest, Colby Amerine. Hey, Colby.
Hey, Gab, how you doing?
I'm doing great. So I invited you today because I know you to be an amazing expert. Can you please tell our audience what it is that makes you the expert that you are?
Sure. Well, about 2 decades of sales and negotiation has made me an expert in the negotiating and sales closing space.
Awesome. So that makes you an expert. Always we have a story that gets us there. Will you please tell our audience a little bit about your history and your background that got you to become the expert that you are today?
Sure. So it really all started when I was actually in the fire service. So I was a paramedic firefighter for a decade. And actually, as I'll go on to tell you later, a lot of those skill sets helped me in sales and negotiation, helped me with the fear factor of walking in and talking to people because I did that for a living, right? And stabilized scenes and asked a lot of questions. And so I kind of inherently had that. But I got injured in 2012, wasn't able to go back to work, and went down to a seminar and got into a real estate wholesaling type seminar, right? So I literally got a list of foreclosures, started knocking on doors, getting houses under contract, and built a wholesaling business. And that just getting out there and doing it was really how I got in the trenches and just got doors in my face and got told no a lot, right? Until I got really good at it. And then that bridged me into the seminar space. I kind of really enjoyed the education space and learning that. And that's where I saw a lot more volume of people. So I was working in seminars where people were learning about becoming a real estate professional, wholesaler, flipper. And so I was sitting knee to knee with many people every single week. And the repetition of doing it, and that just sharpened the knife, as they say, right? I got better and better and better at it. And since then, I've gone on to now creating an insurance agency and training people how to be agents and how to sell insurance. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been a good journey.
We've talked about the fact that one of your skill sets that a lot of people struggle with that makes you an expert is being a closer. Can you give us like just a little snapshot of what it is that makes you so good at being a closer?
Sure, absolutely. And it's funny because that term usually gets a bad connotation, right? People are like, oh,
Right.
here he comes, right? The hardcore closer. Really, frankly, it is listening, having integrity, doing what you say, and just listening to the person and listening for the problems. It's not so much you talking, it's you listening, asking good questions, right? Question-based framework is the best kind of scripts out there to take people down a journey, probe and find out what's painful about their situation, right? Once you figure that out, you wrap your product around the solution, right? That's the solution to their pain that you've exposed. And that is only going to come from you asking great questions.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So before we started this interview, we were talking about the influences that you have had over the years that got you to where you are. And usually I ask our guests what one thing influenced you, but you had a different answer to that about various different influences. And I'd like you to share that with our audience, please.
Sure. So, as I was just a fireman, paramedic, right? Wasn't an entrepreneur, wasn't a salesperson. So as I've been doing this now for 2012 to now, right? 10 years. So as I went through phases of learning, the mentor / influences changed for me. So at the beginning, when it was learning about real estate, it was the, Gary Keller, the investor book, right? Like it was all about learning about investors and flipping and in that space. And then as I got in there and learned that, well, really I needed to learn how to sell people, right? Or how to buy houses, how to negotiate. So then I went into all the negotiating books, and there's a laundry list of those, right? The Chris Voss, Grant Cardone, all those books, Caldini, how to influence people, how to influence and win, how to win friends and influence people. all those books, just constantly absorbing that and getting in that mindset, because I was in a completely different mindset when I started, right? I was in the employee working mindset, and I had to get in this new
Right.
mindset. So then as that developed over a couple of years, you start building a business, you start building business systems. So then you start looking at different leaders in that industry, right? And so you start reading those books. And so that mentorship slash influential has just kind of evolved and changed as I evolved and changed. So I guess to simplify it down, it's whatever you're trying to figure out, whatever skill set that you're trying to master right now, you need to look and research and get exposure to those people who are doing what you want to do, right? And successful at it, right? Make sure they're successful at it, not just Instagrammed out, right? Make sure
Right.
they're really, make sure that they're really doing what it is. And they don't have to be a big published author. They can be somebody in your community or somebody around that's successful, just doing what you want to do, right? If you
Yes.
want to be a great landscaper, find a great landscaping company, the owner that's doing, 18 crews and doing the whole town, right? Like, you really want to find that expert in that space,
Yes.
just really learn from them and figure out exactly what they're doing. Because there's nothing new out there, right? There's plenty of businesses, they all exist. You just need to emulate what you want to do.
The leaders that are already doing what you want to do.
100%.
Absolutely. Hello, awesome listener. Thank you so much for joining us today at GabTalks Success Tips from Experts. We're going to take a short break and take a moment to thank our sponsors. It is because of their generous support that we are able to bring to you all of these amazing experts, where we're able to interview them and get their best success tips for you. So please take a listen to what our sponsors have to say.
This is Tony Stark Polici, copywriter, marketing consultant, and author. And I have a question for you. If you could take $20 and turn it into 1,000 or 5,000 or 10,000 or 100,000, would you do it? Well, you can. And it's not through gambling. It's not investing in the stock market. It's by buying this book. That's right, my book. This was voted number 9 out of the top 100 best copywriting books ever written, and I wrote it for you, for business owners, to help you write better emails, better sales copy, better advertisement, to communicate better in all of your marketing and business communications. This book will change your business and your life. Try it. You're going to love it.
You've all heard, and you know how powerful it is to send thank you cards, notes of appreciation, and gifts that build and maintain relationships. However, writing and sending generic impersonal greetings and gifts one by one just is so overwhelming and takes so much time. Not to mention, these days, who wants to deal with lines at the post office, running out of stamps, or having to print stamps yourself? And then there's the embarrassment of missing an important date altogether. Yikes. So what can you do? If you go to marketyourbiz.guru, you will be able to get help with your greetings and gifts that are printed, stamped, stuffed, and mailed automatically for you. Make sure that you tell them Gabriella sent you. So let's take this and ask, if you were to go back and talk to your younger self, or for our audience that's younger, that's just starting out, what one tip would you give them to do something differently, or give your younger self to do something differently to get to that level of success and expertise, maybe a little bit faster?
So this is good, because I actually do get some younger agents now getting into my agency. So it's exciting, 23, 24-year-old
Right.
folks. And it's really exciting, because if I would have started then, oh my gosh, I'd been in such a different place. So I just tell them, get started, right? Getting started, take action, start doing the repetition, and do it a lot. So whatever that is, whatever you're trying to get into, if it's real estate, if it's insurance, if it's sales, whatever it is, get in that industry, get started, and start doing the repetition. Because here's the big thing. I'm gonna pop the bubble out there, right? There's no magic key, there's no secret sauce. It's just hard work and repetition. You just have to do it over and over and over again, and that's what makes you the expert, right?
Right.
That I've sat with 100,000 people, right? I've had that many appointments. It's not hard, because I've done it so many times.
Right.
And so you just got to get started. And there's no quick fix, but people really underestimate they overestimate what they can do in a year and they underestimate what they can do in 5 years, right? So just get going, get some momentum, take the action and start doing it, and just keep going, right? Because people will generally want to give up. There's a lot of book out there like Three Feet from Gold, right? They when they give up, when they're right toward the edge. When it gets really hard, that's when you have to really stick through it, because that's what you're going to learn. That's what you're really going to learn, that nugget you were looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love having conversations with you. You and I talked about the fact that you and I could go on and talk for hours. I would like to just open it up for any other tips that you would like to give our audience, that you think would help them to bring them that much closer to success in whatever endeavor that they are working on right now themselves.
Sure. So what I would do is I really wouldn't change anything I've done. Like I would do it the same. It's repetition, right? And so it's really finding something that you want to do. People talk about finding the passion, and I get that. I was a big Tony Robbins guy, and LP, follow your passion. I went down that path and that mindset changed. But as I got in the street and really working and really growing and building business and dealing with people in the real world, I started realizing you just got to do the work, right? You got to do the work and develop the skills. And here's the good news. You may do something for 2 or 3 years and you may pivot and not do that anymore. There's a lot of entrepreneurs do that, right? They bounce around and do a bunch of different things. The good news, yeah, right. The good news is each one of those chapters of your life, you're learning a skill set and you're becoming better. And what happens is 10 years down the road, you've now developed these 5, 6, 7 skills that now when people look at you and they go, man, you're such an expert at this. You're so good at this. And you're like, man, it's been 10 years, right? It's been just, I learned how to do this, then I learned how to do that, I learned how to do this, and now compounded, all those skill sets put together, yeah, it appears that I'm, this amazing person at this.
One thing I hear you telling our audience is don't stress and fret about the things that you're no longer doing and such, because you can take those skill sets from before and stack them onto what you're doing now, because that helps you to have the success today, all the things from your past.
100%. Yeah, I've never, like I said, no regrets, right? Everybody, right? And I don't use everybody and always very often, but everybody has done things in their past that they wish they didn't do, or they've went in a path and had a job. They're like, man, why did I do that? But if you change your mindset to no regrets, that everything's a learning experience, that no matter what you've done or been in, if you can take the good out of it, there's some skill that you learn. Maybe you learned you don't ever want to do that again, right? Maybe you learned something like that, but you definitely learn, and just and be wise about it and take it in and learn it and use it and change as you go, right? Because persistency, right? Everybody says be persistent, but you need insight, or you're just going to keep doing the same thing over again, right? So be persistent, but use your insight, ask mentors, look at what you're doing, because a little small tweak and keep being persistent is how you get to the end goal thereafter.
Oh my gosh, that is so true. And in fact, we've talked about this. I consider you to be one of my mentors, and I am so grateful that you honored me with joining us today and bringing your wisdom to our audience. And I would like to open up the floor to allow you to tell our audience where they can find more information and how they can reach out to you directly.
Sure. Thank you so much. And I appreciate that, Gab. It means a lot to me. Look, folks, you can find me in a lot of different places. I used to be all over social media. I do have all the social media links. I'm kind of in the back stages now and just doing some kind of training with my teams, but I would love to talk with you. And there's several places you can find me. You can go to colbyamerine.com, and there's a place where you can make contact information and request to talk to me. If you want to talk about being an insurance agent and learning how to really change your life and other people's lives in that industry, it's an amazing industry. It's changed my life over the last 2 years. You can go to theagencypro.com, and there's an application, a video, and a place to schedule a call with me. Or if you just like to have a quick 15-minute virtual cup of coffee with me, I have a calendly.com/Colby Amerine. So there's a Calendly link there that you can just hop on 15 minutes. We'll have a virtual cup of coffee. I'd love to hear more about you, see how I can help you. Either I can help you or maybe somebody I know can help you.
And we will make sure that all of those links are down below in the description, and in the show notes, we'll have your social media links that you want us to share, and we'll have calendar and your website. So you guys check out the links below, reach out to Colby. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you on our next episode. Hey, thanks so much for watching. We hope you got value today. We want to give a huge shout out of gratitude to our contributors. Please make sure you click the subscribe button below, and don't forget to click the bell up above to get reminders when we add new content.